hey, it's time for something slightly out of season. Because I had already changed the page, so...
I want it known that I wrote this a year and a half ago, and I thought it was going to come out closer to Christmas 2020.
Yeah, it didn't.
Here we are in August 21. Let's do this.
Yeah, we even missed Christmas in July, so... Alright, so... I don't know what this is. I don't know what the first one is.
That is a screenshot from the opening of Christmas Eve Sarajevo by the Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Okay, gotcha. So, Carol of the Bells. Specifically the Trans-Siberian Orchestra version, which is the superior version. Then we have Feliz Navidad.
Yep.
And then we have You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch.
Correct.
Which is a really weird Christmas song. Quiero hippopotamu por Navidad.
Yep.
I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. The Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer.
I can see why you'd think that, but this is actually Holly Jolly Christmas.
Oh.
It's the snowman that sings it.
Yeah. Doesn't he also sing Silver and Gold? No, that's the minor. Alright, what is... I mean, this is the Home Alone house. So...
Yeah, I know. I couldn't find anything that clearly conveyed I'll be home for Christmas.
Okay, that's fair. Drummer Boy.
Yep.
Away in a Manger?
Mary, Did You Know?
Oh. The Holly and the Ivy. And then Silent Night.
Yep.
Now, you did miss two things on here. One goes below F tier. It's the Beach Boys' Little Saint Nick. Christmas
Agreed.
comes this time each year. Yeah, no, awful song. And it's just a Beach Boy song. It's the same as every single other Beach Boy song that's ever existed. And a new song, the 2019 Katy Perry song, Cozy Little Christmas, which I discovered this past Christmas, and it's actually pretty good. It's not overplayed, so that's it's real nice. Well, I mean, it wasn't even. I had to. Like, it wasn't on the radio, and it wasn't on, like, store stuff. It was just something I ran into on a, like, top 50 Christmas songs Amazon Music playlist. And it's really quite good. So I'd put it A tier.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard that one. So I completely get your beef with Feliz Navidad. I hate that one too.
Yeah,
What's your beef with Mary, Did You Know?
It's annoying. That's really it. I always get annoyed by it anytime it's sung. I can put that somewhere else if you argue it well enough. Where would you put it?
Personally, I'd probably put it in high C, low B.
Okay. I'll put it in D. But top of D.
Yeah, that'll work.
And then the Holly and the Ivy is there for one reason, and it's not fair to it. It's because my mom really likes the song because she heard it 1 year, 5 years ago, and now anytime either of the two plants are mentioned, she sings the song really out of key. Sorry, Mom, you sing it out of key. And yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not sure I've ever heard the words to the Holly and the Ivy. The only
Holly
version I know
and
is the
Ivy when they
oh,
were
yeah, I gathered that much. The only version I know is the instrumental version by Mannheim Steamroller.
Which is very good, because most things by Mannheim Steamroller are very good.
Yep.
Now, there's 2 other songs on this list that I'm shocked you don't have on here, which are White Christmas, one of the most iconic Christmas songs, and Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas.
Well, here's how I did this. I went through a list of top 100 Christmas songs, and I picked one from each group of 10.
Okay. Okay. Weird. That was an interesting way to do this.
The reason for that was so we would get some great ones and also guarantee we got some Snickers.
Yeah. I mean, because, see, I was actually looking forward to the argument, so we're just gonna add it in right now. There won't be a picture, but we'll remember it. Where would you put All I Want for Christmas? Because it's a really, really well engineered song. Like, technically speaking, it's a phenomenal Christmas song.
Yeah, technically speaking, there's nothing wrong with the song.
Yeah,
it's just horrendously overplayed.
Yeah, technically speaking, it might be one of the best Christmas songs. But I've heard it more times than I've heard any other song. And I don't mean Christmas song, I mean any other song. And I played music for
Does that include Birdland?
That includes Birdland. So, like, where would you put Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas? Because technically speaking, it's an S-tier song. But contextually, it's an F-tier song.
Personally, I would nail it to the bottom of B.
Okay, that's fair. I'd be good with that. Alright, so, I'll Be Home for Christmas, right?
Yep. Had a lot more punch to it when people were stationed overseas for the war and plane tickets weren't affordable for most people.
Yeah. And now that we're not actively at wartime, right? Doesn't have as much punch.
There was a version of it made in the mid 2000s when the War on Terror was at its peak.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that?
I don't remember it, the version you're speaking of, but I remember the War on Terror existing.
It's the only song like this I've ever heard consistently on the radio year after year. I don't remember who sings it. Some guy singing I'll Be Home for Christmas, and then between the verses, there are messages recorded by soldiers wishing their families a Merry Christmas and saying they wish they could be there this year.
Interesting. Oh, no, I don't think I've ever encountered that. Oh, but my wife is telling me that she's heard it all the time, so I don't recall ever having heard it, but she listens to the radio more than I do. Where would you put it? It's a good song.
It's iconic. It's not too overplayed, mostly because most of the people who grew up with the song are now dying of old age.
Yeah. It's also not played a lot of places because it's a slower song.
Yeah.
I'll be home. Alright, so A tier. I mean,
Yeah, A tier.
Carol of the Bells is just a really good song, and the Trans-Siberian Orchestra version is just a really good version.
Yep.
All right, this one, the Holly Jolly Christmas.
Yeah, I'd say top of C for that one.
Okay. Now, let's get into the weeds here. Because Drummer Boy is a common song that is well liked, but not by you. What is your reason?
Not by me. I just don't really see much that's redeeming about the song in general. Everyone's done their own interpretation of it, and yet they all somehow manage to sound exactly the same.
That's fair. I can't argue with that. Where would you put it?
Honestly, I would put it in F tier.
Whoa! Whoa, okay. Yeah, we're gonna have to walk it back from that.
I realize it's gonna take some negotiation on this, but if I was the one placing it, that's where I would put it.
Yeah. Because I would have put it, like, top of C, bottom of B, maybe. I mean, it's not a bad song. It's just kind of there. Oh, wow.
For me, it grates on my nerves every time I hear it.
Okay, so would you be okay with it being the bottom of C?
Yeah, I could live with that. Right next to Mary Did You Know, basically for the same reasons as you.
Okay, there. That, yeah. Wow, F tier. Like, huh, okay. Interesting. Feliz Navidad, to be clear, is there because it's just a very repetitive song, and the version that gets played is very nasal. And
yeah,
it grates on the eardrums. It's anytime I hear it, it's like someone's taking a cheese grater to my skull. It's awful.
The instrumental versions aren't much better. You've played it as much as I have.
Yeah. They're not. Especially because it's just repetitive. There's no difference to it.
There's no difference, and there's no depth.
No.
Usually, in some kind of orchestrated song, there's 3 or 4 things happening, different things happening at once. I don't think there's ever more than 2 in Feliz Navidad. Sometimes not even that many.
No. Yeah, and the chat's, my wife hates it because some people know she's half Mexican and they look at her like, oh, it's your song. I wish that there was a good, like, Hispanic Christmas song, but there isn't.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we get into the songs that are weirdly Christmas. Like, You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch, which, by the way, is an excellent song. It is an excellent song. It's just a weird Christmas song. I'd put it in the same lines as what's the Sound of Music song that gets played? Favorite Things, which to me, not at all a Christmas song, at all, even a little bit. But it gets played at Christmas time all the time. The other one is the Charlie Brown song, which I understand it was in the Charlie Brown Christmas Carol, but it's kind of absurd that it's...
Okay, which one are you talking about? Are you talking about the
Linus and
primarily
Lucy
piano version, or are you talking about Christmas Time Is Here?
I'm talking about Linus and Lucy, the piano version,
Okay.
which doesn't have any lyrics, and it's just played. Why is it played?
Because it's a good song.
No, it's not. It's like Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas Is You" at this point.
Yeah. But I was gonna say, Linus and Lucy, I can understand that. If you're talking about Christmas Time Is Here not being a Christmas song, I am somewhat confused.
No, yeah, I mean, obviously. So where do we put the Grinch song? Because it doesn't have a whole lot to do with Christmas, but
it is iconic.
But it is iconic, and it is a good song.
I would say bottom of B.
Bottom of B, okay. Quiero hipopótamo para Navidad. The Spanish version is way better than the English version, because the English version is also box grader. I want a hippopotamus for Christmas! Which by itself would put it in F. But since there's a better version of it, top of D? Middle of D?
It's basically a meme at this point.
Yeah. Where in D should I put it?
I would say bottom of D.
Okay. I'll put it there. And then, of course, Silent Night goes to S tier because it is the greatest Christmas song on this list, at least. If not, of all time.
And again, the Mannheim Steamroller version is one of the best performances of it.
Yeah. I agree. I just like the history behind the song.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, which of the World Wars was it? One, probably?
One, I believe.
Yeah. World War One, I'm assuming it was the first year in. Because I don't think they did it the second or the next year.
Whoever was writing this had way too much hope in their heart for it to be the second year of World War II.
No, Silent Night wasn't written during World War One. It was. It's a song that's been around a lot longer than that. The key thing here is that it was a song that everyone knew. The West knew it, Silent Night, or I can't speak French, but their version, and the Germans knew it as Silent Nacht. And Christmas came, and the soldiers are both in their trenches. Bullets are still going, but it's Christmas now, or Christmas Eve, I guess. And it gets late, and some of the soldiers, I don't know which side it was, started singing. Because it's Christmas. I mean, nobody expected to be in a war this long. I mean, the war started much earlier, so they
I think World War I is where the meme about the troops will be home by Christmas came from.
Yeah.
Everyone says it. It's actually a joke nowadays. Back then, they actually believed it.
Yeah, because it wasn't supposed to be, the Great War. It was supposed to be a little small war like all the others had been. But no, it was a world war. And a couple soldiers started singing, and then the others picked up, and then the other side picked it up, and both sides sang Silent Night together in their own languages, and that led to a informal ceasefire where people got out and went and played soccer in the no man's land, and they trade American rations for German rations, and let's say, oh, what are your bullets like? Here, I'll try some of those. You can have some of mine. Like, they didn't have much to work with, but they made a Christmas for themselves, and Silent Night. Truce. Yeah, Silent Night was the catalyst for that, and I think it was the Germans who started it, and then the Brits picked it up. Okay.
and then it just spread down the lines in both directions.
Yeah, I wasn't
And the
sure.
thing is, this didn't just happen in one place. This happened independently on multiple fronts.
Yeah. And yeah, and it's a beautiful story. It's a true story. And Silent Night is just a beautiful song on its own. So that's why it gets S tier in my book.
Yeah.
And in everyone
It's
else's
older than I
book.
thought.
I've decided.
First performed in 1818.
Yeah, I knew it was very old. Yeah. Alright, well. That was Christmas music. Yeah, let us know if you agree. Nobody reads those comments. Actually, I do. But tell us anyways. Maybe
We might
I'll...
revisit this later in the year when we're sick of Christmas music.
Yeah. Now, Tim, did you make sure you listened to all of these so you knew which one was which? Oh, damn. Do we have that picture still, or did we already send that? The one of, yeah.
One of what?
Okay. There was a picture I took a month ago now at a local hobby shop that was Christmas stuff, and I'm pretty sure I posted it.
Yeah, I think you did.
But I wanted to make sure I had, so that you had seen it, so that you would be frustrated because you do not like Christmas outside of its time of year.
No, generally not.
All right, well.
This early in the year, I don't actually have as much of a problem with it. It's as we get later into the fall, when it starts stepping on other holidays, that it starts to grate on me.
Yeah, because there is the October holiday and the November holiday. There's not a September holiday, though.
It's Labor Day.
Yeah, like I said,
When
there's
children
there's
go out in the fields and look for eggs laid by the Labor Bunny.
What, the Labor Bunny? Oh, hey man, let's celebrate work by going to work. All right, well, that's everything. Merry Christmas,
that is
everyone.
every Christmas song.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, everyone.
And a happy August.